Hi everybody, Preston Polder here with Pocket Jacks Comics, and today, talking about Robotech. I tell you, nothing motivates me to make videos like studying for my law finals. Like I'm just sitting here paging through law books going, the common law will not allow the creation and an easement who is a stranger to a deed. And I'm like, okay, yeah, Robotech. So here we go. There are 3 books I'm going to want to talk about. I'm going to put them in different videos. So this one is about Lisa's Report, which is the trade paperback for the Robotech comic. I'm not exactly sure the number, but it's the most recent trade paperback. It's really good. Like, those issues are strong, man. Like, it's the best parts of the original Robotech Macross series. You know, that journey to Earth from the SDF-1, kind of similar to the Star Blazers Yamato journey, you know, just this ship out there being attacked by aliens. But you got Miriya, who, I don't know if you remember or ever even watched the show, but Miriya, alright, so for those of you who don't watch the show, alright, the Zentradi are divided boy-girl, because for reasons that the show doesn't exactly touch on, the Zentradi are genetically identical to us, except they're giant, which makes them not genetically identical to us. Kind of like Prometheus. You remember that part in Prometheus where, oh wow, the 8-foot bald albino guys are genetically identical to us? I'm like, that's not possible. But, okay, fair enough. Anyway, so the Zentradi are just like humans, except they're 50 feet tall. But they were genetically engineered by the Robotech Masters, going back to the original show, and it's a little Brave New World-ish in that because they can come from a test tube, therefore sex is outlawed and a completely foreign concept. Therefore, they kind of break them up by gender. You got the male ships and the female ships. I'm going to say something that's not politically correct, but I think also a little obvious. If you were really just engineering creatures for war, right? Like that's the entire reason for this. We could call it a species, or really, you know, like, is a mule a species? I don't know if a mule is a species. You know, we just create mules for work, but they can't reproduce. Do we really want to call that a species? I don't think they qualify. So I would say that, you know, the Zentradi shouldn't even be a species. They're really just creatures of war that were created by the Robotech Masters, in which case, if you don't want them to have sex, why would you even create the weaker gender, right? Women are not as physically strong, particularly if they're genetically identical to humans, and humans, women are not as physically strong, they're not as big, they don't tend to be as aggressive. If these are creatures of war, why do they have women at all? I'll tell you why they have women, so that we can look at Miriya. Boom, baby, yeah! Alright, I mean, look, I understand that there's logic, but then there's also story elements that make you want to tune in. And God, I loved Miriya, right? She was this female flying ace, like the best pilot of the Zentradi was a woman. By the way, I feel I must mention, my Kickstarter of White Lily issue number 3 is up right now. We hit 50% of our goal in less than the first week. So this Kickstarter is actually going to go, and it is about a real woman who's the deadliest female fighter pilot who ever lived. So if you're really interested in Miriya, or the topic of female aviators, or female just kicking ass in the air, you should check it out. Link in the description. Anyway, so coming back to Miriya, there's this great duel she does in the initial show with Max Sterling, who is, you know, basically the best pilot amongst all of the humans, is fighting Miriya, the best pilot amongst all of Zentradi, in this kind of ace of aces thing, and then eventually, you know, Romeo and Juliet. But so here she is in the comic, looking pretty sexy. I'm not sure why she's wearing a chastity belt. Who wants to lock up her doodad? I don't, that part I don't get. I don't know, but okay, whatever. She's got a chastity belt on. Okie doke. But she does this really cool, the whole fight with Max Sterling, which was one of the best moments in the original Robotech show, is one of the stories that they go over in Lisa's Report, the trade paperback which is currently available at your local comic book store. I recommend you run down and you get that today. It is so good. So, yeah, I mean, just like the story element and all right, you know, we did a live stream on Robotech. I'm going to do another one this Sunday, or podcast. I don't know, you know, like, well, at this point, I said between a podcast and a live stream, but all right, whatever. With the Robotech crew this Sunday, I enjoy talking with those folks, and they filled me in on this issue, which I had to run out and get because I was working Dallas Fan Festival on Free Comic Book Day, so year zero. A free comic book on Free Comic Book Day, not free for me. I had to order the thing because my local comic book store was out, and I just wasn't willing to run around town. Really good stuff in this one. I really like this. This is a book. You need to check this one out too. I'm going to do a separate video though. I'm going to be nice and tidy. I'm going to do a separate video on Event Horizon Year Zero, where they're now kind of combining all these different story elements. I think they're doing a really good job. So, yes. And in order to kind of catch up on the Robotech story so far, you need to check out Lisa's report, the trade paperback. It's got everything. It's got the battle between Rick and Miriya and Roy Fokker. He has been abducted by Dr. Zand, and Zand is in the space-time thing, and suddenly you're getting this, like, there's the Prometheus vibe, where, you know, he's in, like, you know, the kind of ship where there's all these different dimensions, and he doesn't play a flute, but other than that, it's definitely got some hardcore Prometheus feels to it. And you know, he's captured Roy Fokker for reasons that remain mysterious, and he's cloned him because he's got some technology from the Robotech Masters just hanging out. Why the heck not? And you know, it's interesting. I like it. You know, look, the show has made some elements. Oh yeah, so in the live stream with those guys, one of the things we got to talk about, the most drastic change to the original character was Lisa Hayes, because, as I put it, one, they've sexualized her character over the way she used to be, and two, she used to be second in command, but now the Admiral is dead, and now she's first in command, and it's a totally different dynamic with her being this in charge and fairly aggressive and, more than anything, assertive. The old Lisa Hayes was not an assertive personality. The new Lisa Hayes is very assertive, very confident in what she wants, very empowered. So, you know, I mean, I kind of miss the old Lisa, honestly, you know, because look, a lot of women I know were like the old Lisa. They were, you know, they weren't assertive, but they were women of good character. They had feelings. You know, but they wanted to be listened to, but they didn't feel comfortable putting themselves out there in the traditionally masculine fashion. Not so for the new Lisa Hayes. The new Lisa Hayes is large and in charge, and, you know, she's ordering the SDF-1 down to Canada because the Canadians are defying the wishes of the United Earth government. You damn Canadians. And has welcomed the SDF-1 to Canada. But, you know, here comes Zentradi, and then some people die, and then the Canadians are like, well, gee, I didn't think when we invited down the fortress that has been in one constant nonstop war ever since it left this planet somewhat 9 months ago, I didn't think that war would follow us here. Like, really? Okay. All right, fine. But there you go. So, yes, Lisa's report, pick it up. By the way, if you like strong, assertive women, you should check out my Kickstarter for White Lily issue 3. It's live right now. It is so good. You're going to love it. Look, I'm not lying to you on this one. You're going to love this one. All right, next, coming up, I'm going to do a video on Robotech year numbers, Free Comic Book Day number 0, Event Horizon 0. This one, really liking this one too. So, yeah, that one's coming up in the next video. Thank you so much for your time.